Hello, my dear friends. I'm Stanislav Shamayev, a licensed business immigration and corporate attorney in Miami, Florida. In today's video, we're going to be discussing what is a request for evidence, RFE. When do you get one? What to do with this? And what are the chances of approval after you got one? At the end of this video, you will be able to learn how to get a free evaluation of your case that may get an RFE, and that's the best way to avoid an RFE because you may get a free analysis of your case. That means that you will know if it's strong enough not to get the RFE. Let's go. Alright guys, you know the drill. Smash that like button and do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done that yet. Because I noticed by the statistics that only 60% of you who watch my videos are subscribed to my channel. And the other 40% just watch it without subscribing. Well, if you're not subscribed, you are missing 2 videos a week that I release on a regular basis. And if you're serious about coming to the States, this is almost a sinful event not to subscribe to my channel. So please do subscribe and enjoy the best immigration content among the YouTube channels. You guys know that I specialize in 3 categories of the visas. Business visas, L1, E2, EB1C. Talent visas, O1A, O1B, EB1A, and EB2 National Interest Waiver, and also the investor visa, EB5. We also do some work visas like EB2, EB3, and H1B. All these visas, once you file the initial petition, may get the request for evidence. You will never get a denial of your visa after you filed your petition. It never happened in my career, and we filed hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds cases in each category. The worst thing that can happen, the US government may send an NOID, a notice of intent to deny your case. Those are really bad. If you got an NOID, that means that there is a very good chance you're not gonna get your case approved. That means that either your attorney really did something wrong in your case, or you did something wrong in your case, okay? Something happened. In my career, I got only 1 notice of intent to deny. That happened back in the day when I filed EB1A petition for a talented astrologist. And the US government did not agree with me that an astrology was falling within the art category of EB1A. We received the notice of intent to deny because we were asked to prove that astrology is one of the 5 categories of EB1A: business, education, science, sports, or art. And I made a very good argument that astrology is an art that allows people to read the movement of celestial bodies to predict the future of the people, which I'm thinking was a genius argument. But the US government disagreed, and that case was denied. After that, I never attempted to file no astrologists within EB1A, but those astrologists who came to me with the talented approaches, I filed them within the business category. Okay, business and astrology is different than being astrologist. All right, a little bit of my experience just at you guys. I think you find this as funny as I do. It wasn't funny back then because I thought it was a failure. But years passed, and now I think it was very funny. RFE could be a good thing, and it could be a bad thing. Why could it be a good thing? Well, because in RFE, the immigration officer is gonna say, okay, these criteria we accepted, and these criteria we did not accept. It's very good for educational and academical purposes to know which criteria and the way we proved it was good for the immigration services, all right? Because through those criteria, we learn more and we make ourselves better. So the further petitions we file, we know for sure, okay, the way we do describe those petitions is what the immigration services want. The bad thing is that now we have to do more work and create more documents to get more evidence that we satisfy this criterion or that criterion. And let me tell you something, guys, because we file not less than 30, sometimes up to 50 cases a month. You guys know I have a big corporation, more than 70 people work with my company. We can afford to have 200 to 250 cases being developed at every single minute as we speak. We get a lot of statistics, and although 9 out of 10 cases that we file get approval across all visas, some visas get 99% approval rate with my company, but across all visas, the easy ones, the hard ones, it's 90%, so 9 out of 10. We still, for the years of practice, got a lot of statistics for RFE. Yes, we get some denials. It's impossible not to get denials. If your attorney tells you I never got a denial for whatever visa, most likely it's not true. Just a little secret here. We collected all the paperwork that we had. We separated for different type of visas, L1, EB1, O1A, EB5, E2, and we found the officers that are better with approval of our petitions and that are worse for our clients. And we analyzed all that and we created a table. And now we have the statistics, which officer, if we get from that officer an RFE, is gonna give us more chances of denial, okay? And if we file your case and we get an RFE from a particular officer, we don't know them by names, we know them by the numbers, okay? So if we see it's an officer X0121, and just an example, it's non-existent number, but if we see that officer and we see that for the past 10 RFEs we get from that officer, 8 of them being a denial for the past 5 years, for example, right? We can tell and we know that those denials that being refiled with a different officer who has a better understanding of the law, because we file very strong cases. What we do, we recommend our client to withdraw that case from that particular officer and refile the petition. And of course, the RFE we're going to use to strengthen that petition to be more explicit where the information is and why we prove your case according to the law. It's not just refiling, it's actually making it stronger. Yes, you're going to pay more government fee, but you have to balance a very good chance of being denied or paying a little bit extra and getting a very good chance of being approved even without RFE. I had the cases in my career, and it's not a single case, it's not 2 cases, it's many cases where we file the case and we get a bad officer who has a very bad track record with our company for whatever reason. Yes, because a lot of those cases are very subjective. That is implemented in the law. So the subjective analysis is a part of the real analysis, okay? So this officer sees it this way, that officer sees it differently. So we have a lot of cases that been withdrawn after RFE from a bad officer. And again, a bad officer doesn't mean they're bad persons, right? They just maybe don't understand the law as good as others. And being refiled and getting a different officer, getting approval without RFE. Can you imagine that? This is mind-blowing. This officer is gonna send you RFE and completely destroy your case, and that officer is gonna get it, see it's a good case, and give you approval without RFE. Okay, this is just a little insight I'm giving to you because I don't see other attorneys doing this. I hear once in a while this and that attorney, they pay attention to the officers, but those attorneys have been practicing probably for 15, 20, 25 years, a lot of experience, and maybe very, very expensive. And we are still young. We have very good prices in the market, but we do still have a lot of analytics because we file a lot of cases and we specialize with particular visas. Investment, business, and talent. But if you're not with our company Good luck to you. And you got an RFE. What you gonna do? Well, you have to build the strategy how to answer that document. You have to see and look what exactly your immigration officer didn't like. In a lot of instances, they just missed the information. Very important. Don't be discouraged when you got one. Just look what exactly was wrong in the eyes of the immigration officer. They are also humans. They just sometimes miss the information. Maybe it was buried somewhere, maybe it was not explicitly shown in your petition. So if you see that, oh my God, the officer is asking the question that I already answered, don't worry, just explicitly show in your answer where that information is. This is number one reason why you get an RFE. The officer just missed information. Reason number two. There was a missing information to prove the criterion on your side. You just did not provide the needed information, or you just didn't know that you have to provide that information. No problem. Just gather the documents that prove that information that is missing. You can just add more paperwork, but make sure everything you add into the case happened before the immigration services received your petition. If it happened after, let's say you filed for EB-1A, the talent visa, and you got a new publication released after your priority date, the date when the immigration services received your petition, that's not going to be considered. The office is going to tell you, okay, you submitted, but it has no bearing on the case. So make sure it happened before. No problem. Produce the new evidence, get more evidentiary base, file it back. The reason number three, and guys, recently, this happens more and more. And even before I mention that particular reason, I want you to pay attention. Mark my words. You want to work with the attorney who is specializing in that particular visa that you're filing. That means that that attorney primarily doing this or these type of visa or visas. Because if that attorney is doing all immigration, deportation, family, asylum, U visas, T visas, talent, national, everything, that means that attorney knows a little bit of everything, but nothing into the depth. And that means that that attorney, or you, if you decided to do the case by yourself, God have mercy on your soul. You will never see that, okay? And that reason is, I hope you're ready, sometimes the immigration officers rewrite the law. They provide the wrong interpretation of the current laws. And that means if they provide the wrong interpretation and they analyze on the wrong interpretation, they are not gonna sometimes come to the same conclusions as if they would have come had they used the proper standard. I don't know why it happened. Maybe they didn't like your petition. Maybe they're not qualified enough. Maybe they did not have enough training. Maybe they knew. I hope they don't do it on purpose, okay? Because if they do it on purpose, there is a big problem. But if it happens for whatever reason, you need to know the exact law and the exact interpretation of that law to be able to beat such RFE. Stanislav, you scared the hell out of me. Can you please give me an example of what could be wrong in a way that the law may be misinterpreted? I have a favorite example how this may happen, and there's a lot of examples, but I'll give you my favorite. In EB-1A visa or O1 visa, there is the criterion your original and significant contribution in your field. And remember the way I put the words in that sentence. In your field. Sometimes we get the RFEs where the immigration officer says that we did not prove that our client made a significant and original contribution to the field, in the field, or to the field. English is not my first language, but my first education is a teacher of English and German. If you guys didn't know, I'm a teacher. That's why I'm giving you this material so good, right? And this is objective. Contribution to the field means that it's contribution to the whole field. That means that you changed the whole industry. Contribution in the field means that you did something within the field, within your industry, that was important to the industry, but it doesn't mean that you changed the whole industry. Do you see this difference? It's very slight and subtle in one word, but if you missed it, you will not be able to tackle this unlawful request. Once you make this little stylistic change, or lexical change, or grammatical change to the law, that has a huge consequences to that. When I answer such RFEs and when I see the illegal request, and I always see it because I do it every day, I first attack the officer on that point. I tell the officer, look, dear officer, thank you for your work. However, you misinterpret the law or you add non-existent things to the law. And that's why you analyzed my client's criteria under the wrong regulation, under the wrong law. So this is illegal and the federal court is gonna throw this away. The proper way is this, and under this law, under this wording, and that's the proper wording, this is what my client has, that's the contribution, la la la, significance, innovation, bam bam bam. So, you guys see that it's RFE is a serious matter for many reasons. Overall, the best thing not to get it. But sometimes even the best petitions get the RFEs. And if you get it, make sure that you read it very well. You find the reasons why the officer didn't understand something. You explain what he didn't see. You find what he didn't see. You provide more paperwork. And you look for misinterpretation of the law. Once you do this, you will have a better chance to get an approval. Alright guys, if you want to get the best chance of not getting RFE in your petitions for business, for investment, or for talent visas, you can get a free evaluation of your case. How? Go down below this video. Find the questionnaires that correspond to your visa. L1, E2, EB1, O1, EB5, those visas that I specialize in. Fill out the questionnaires, do a good job, give me the best answers that you can, and within 48 hours, I will get to you with initial qualification of your case. And if I see the potential, I will invite you to the complex immigration planning, where you first meet with the data manager who's gonna collect all the information from you. And then you meet with me at the second phase, where I make the final qualification for your case for the best program. And I create the initial strategy that you will receive after our meeting. All right, guys, smash that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my Instagram, into my TikTok, so we are in touch 24/7. I'm Stanislav Shamayev, a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.